friends, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, I'll be your guide for today. I thought of creating a reading in which I will be focused primarily on your friendships. I think this is timely and necessary. I felt so guided to create this one for you. So I have here a selection of 3 different cards that are all taken from the gorgeous The Unfolding Path Tarot by Athene Noctua, and they all represent the energy of friendship, merriment, and just deep inner strength. As you can see, I already pre-shuffled the tarot and oracle cards so that once you make your choice, I can dive straight into the messages because I know that your time and mine as well is very precious. So without further ado, let me show you the options. For you, Group 1, I have here the Strength card, and your cards got a bit messed up. Maybe we're dealing with a messy friendship? Who knows? Let's see what messages pop up at your specific option. For you, Group 2, we have here the 3 of Cups. And it's very fitting, very timely, because we see pumpkins here. So we're approaching Mabon, we're approaching the autumn equinox and Halloween. And here for you, Group 3, we have the 10 of Cups. This is an image of friends that already have families. So maybe you fit into that category, or you would like to become one very soon. Okay, so these are the choices. Okay, I'm going to try to zoom in as much as I can, but yeah, without losing perspective. There we go. I don't know why, but my cat Luna started playing with the blanket upon which I have these tarot and oracle cards. So I'm not going to extend this introduction. I know that most of you skip over the introduction anyway. I hope that you have made your choice. Thank you kindly for being here. If you want to get in touch for a personal reading, I am available for those specifically around the time of the eclipse. You may benefit from having a reading. I am going to begin showing my face again. I just wanted to go through the eclipse energy portal, which is taking place on the 21st of September. And then I promise you guys that you will see my face again in the readings, okay? I just wanted to protect myself a little bit because there have been many psychic attacks that have been sent my way in the last period, and just to be sure that everything is tip-top in terms of my personal energy and boundaries. Okay, so without further ado, I give you a great big hug and let's see what is going on in your friendships. Let's discuss. Hi Group 1, hello darlings, welcome to a reading focused on what is going on with the Hey Group 1, hello my loves, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to a reading focused on your friendships. Let's find out what's going on with them. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this gorgeous Strength card. As you guys know, the Strength card is my favorite major arcana, so I think I'm gonna play along with you guys in this specific option. You may be a Leo, or some of your friends, the most remarkable, the closest friends, could have Leo energy, maybe ascendant in Leos, moon in Leos, sun in Leos. So let's see, why do you need so much strength in your personal connections? The cards that you were dealt are, okay, so this is the Ertrinken card, drowning, okay, a feeling of drowning. Could be that your friendships require a lot of you. We have here the 9 of Pentacles, comfort, King of Pentacles, security. You could have a good number of male friends as well. We have here the 10 of Pentacles, the Wealth card, but it was blocked. We have the Tamer. The affirmation is, I believe my cause to be just without anger at those who disagree. So this is the image. And then we also have here the Pride card. Oh yes, oh my goodness, this fits so well with the shadow side of Leo. Having this pride, not really wanting to admit defeat, not wanting to admit when they made mistakes, or persevering with their mistakes in spite of the need to correct the course just because they are stubborn and their pride gets in the way. So these are your cards. Okay. Let's see my... Okay. I always have location issues lately. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the flexible energy of Saturn in Pisces. But let's dive into your interpretation. So I see that your friendships can offer you a good measure of comfort and security. I see that you may have relationships with people that are wealthy, famous, popular. I am also noticing that you may have a Venus in Leo, now that I think of, because I see here the energy of a Venus in Leo individual. So you tend to be drawn towards celebrity figures. Your friends could be quite wealthy, popular in the public eye. My voice is cracking up almost as if you don't want to hear these things, or I'm receiving some sort of blocks in my capacity to read. I think you also may be very tired because I took a sip from my coffee. Okay, I see that a lot of money is involved in your friendships. You could be supporting your friends with money. Your friends could be supporting your work with money. I think that you tend to meet people through work. Maybe your Venus is conjunct Saturn, or there is this energy of we get into a specific work commitment and then we become close companions. I feel that your friends can really be a friend in need. Yeah, your friends can really support you by allowing you to stay at their homes, by giving you the keys to their car if you need to go someplace, by giving you food, support, and shelter. But they may be low on empathy. You could be dealing with a lot of wild characters. Your friends could give you physical comfort, but they could emotionally rattle you. They could scare you often, or they could engage in dramas. They could argue amongst each other. And this really takes a toll on your emotional sense of safety. So you may be having well-off friends, friends in the upper class of society, friends that are on the brink of becoming famous if they are not already, friends that can support you financially. They give you a lot of gifts. You can definitely sleep at their places, you can definitely eat their food, but there are issues here with emotions, with forgiveness, with empathy. So your friendships can often break down because of this materialism. There is a certain materialistic streak that permeates all of your friendship relationships. Your Venus could be placed in the material houses of the zodiac, the 2nd, the 8th, the 2nd, the 6th, and the 10th. But there could be some blocks there in the 8th house, the house of trust and deep intimacy. So I definitely feel like, although on paper your friendships look perfect, a lot of people envy you and would like to have the friends that you have. You also are the secret keeper of your friends. For example, your friends could get into a really messy DUI, drunk under the influence, or driving under the influence, and you're not supposed to share. Oh my goodness, you really can't speak in your personal connections. I have the feeling that you start connections with people that control you in some way financially, or that you attach yourself to people that have certain material and physical benefits, but these people do not allow you to speak. You may even need to sign some disclosure paperwork if you get close to them. You may need to keep their secrets. They may be doing a lot of dirty business. Maybe they're embezzling funds. Maybe they, as I was trying to explain, but my voice cracked. Maybe they get into accidents, they hurt other people, but they need to keep it hush-hush because they are public figures or they're rich, and it would really taint their reputation. So you're kind of like your friend's secret keeper, disaster manager. You are your friend's heart and soul. That's what I'm hearing. But you're not allowed to express this. There is a certain feeling of your friendships are transactional. But you know that if you stick with these people long enough, you are going to have like a massive paycheck. You will be taken very well care of. Yeah? And that's why you put up with some of the nastier bits of your friends. But there are a lot of issues related to pride. Your friends could easily cut you off if you don't do what they say. If you express what you genuinely think about them, you lose them. Yeah, this is a bit toxic, I have to tell you. It's really sad if you can't speak to your friends about who you are, about your feelings. I'm hearing the police alarm outside. It's an alarming moment. It's a wake-up call for you to stop prioritizing material aspects so much, because you may end up incredibly rich, or let's say with a lot of material comfort, and nobody in your life, nobody to share things with, nobody to talk to. You may end up feeling used and worn out, potentially even traumatized from your experiences with these people. You are drowning in your feelings because you're not able to share them with your friends. It almost feels like you share gifts with your friends. You show them that you care by giving them things. But then, and they may also do the same with you. But at the same time, it's very dismissive. The energy is like mocking your emotions or dismissing the fact that you're a person that has feelings. So there is hidden drama, there is stuck pride, there is pent-up resentment. A lot of feelings that need to be taken out to the surface have been kind of like festering underneath the foundations of your friendships. And it's time for you to start making some changes if you want to rescue your capacity to make friends. A friendship is something that we choose. A friendship can sometimes come over us randomly, unexpectedly, but we decide whether we want to continue seeing that person and nurturing that relationship. Usually friendships are organized around common things or familiarity, proximity, just the vibe. You feel that this person is open to you, you feel that this person likes you, you like them, and a friendship is struck. But I feel like in your case, friendships could have been in some way planned. It's kind of like you either went to school or to the same workplace, and maybe your family members kind of pushed you into the direction of making friends with this or that person because it will be good for your resume, or because this person has money and it's good to be friends with people with money. And you develop these friendships that you sometimes look at them and you think, what made us come together in the first place? Like, why am I friends with you? Because I don't feel like you have some deep things in common with your friends. I just feel that your friends are giving you things and you feel indebted to them. You feel responsible in some way. You feel like, oh, well, I can't let you go, or I can't draw a boundary with you because look, you're taking good care of me, and a friend in need is a friend indeed, and I may need your support. But I think here you need to work a little bit on your sense of confidence. You can live well by yourself. You don't need to have things paid for by your friends. You don't need to receive extravagant gifts from your friends, or I don't know, haute couture gifts from your friends. You don't need all these objects. You definitely need to speak to people about how you feel. Your feelings are more important than the money. But I guess that you're at the point in your life at which you're not realizing this yet. It's becoming increasingly more important. And once you truly commit to the fact that, yes, my feelings matter. Yes, I want to stop drowning in my feelings. Yes, I want to feel good in a personal connection. I want to be able to talk to my friend openly and honestly. And I'm tired of shoveling this pride under the proverbial carpet in our relationship. I definitely feel that you could be friends with a lot of men, and maybe you attribute this dismissiveness as, oh, this is just my friend Jack, and obviously he doesn't talk about feelings because he's a man, he just shows me love by, I don't know, allowing me to use his car occasionally at weekends, or giving me an expensive gift, but no, it's not necessarily a feature of the gender of man that he doesn't show emotions. That's a very skewed, toxic, traditional form of masculinity, and most men in our day and age are kind of working around that preconception, that cliche of masculinity. So I definitely feel that if you want your relationships with your friends to improve, take the money aspect out of it. Relationships don't have to be transactional. If you do this for me, I do this for you. Sometimes they can just be. Sometimes it's just, a friend comes over to help you because you are sad because a relative passed on, and they are just there to soothe you, and you're not giving anything back in return to them at that point. Maybe later on you may give them something else. You may offer them the same support. But it doesn't have to feel like this pressure to constantly give something back, to constantly check what you are giving and what you are taking. Yeah? I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you kindly for listening, Group 1. I do hope that you will start prioritizing your feelings because they are important and they do matter. And I hope that you'll find the strength to start doing a general cleanup through your friendships and figure out what people in your life generally have your back and what people are there just because you, through your work yourself, may bring them certain benefits. Anyway, sorry about the interruptions. It's not something I can control. Thank you kindly for listening, Group 1. I really hope you take good care of your beautiful heart and that you start doing some spring cleaning in your life, in your personal friendships, because you are a person that deserves so much more and you definitely deserve to have emotionally close and nourishing connections. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye. Hey Group 2, hello my darlings, welcome to a pick a card reading in which we are focused on your friendships. So this is for those of you who are drawn to the Three of Cups. There is a glaring light. I don't know what's going on with my camera at the moment. Maybe if I move it, yeah. Oh boy, so many issues, so many technical difficulties, so many interruptions. But I'm gonna persevere because you came here for your reading and I'm going to give it to you. So, let's see, what are the cards saying? We have here the fire energy. Ouch, okay. We have here the Seven of Cups, delusion. Wow. We have the Two of Cups, love, relationships. We have the Hierophant, guidance. We have the reputable. The affirmation is, I live my life as if my guardian angels are watching over me. So this is the image. We have here Saturn in the background and the moon. And we also have here discover your life purpose, number 29. Okay, so what is going on with your friendships? It seems like you have been friends with people ever since you were small. Maybe you're this kind of person that managed to stay friends with people from primary school, from kindergarten. You are a person that really loves to maintain relationships. But your relationships may have gone through a whirlwind of changes and random, sudden, spontaneous, crazy happenings. Mostly because I see here the star sign Taurus. So you could have maybe Venus in the sign of Taurus, or you could have a 7th house in the sign of Taurus. And all of this has been an issue in your life because the planet Uranus, the planet of spontaneous surprises, has been transiting through the sign of Taurus since 2018, and it's just this year wrapping up its transit. So it could be that long-term connections, relationship that you have since you were a child, have been blown apart by a lot of sudden changes, unexpected events. People started coming in and out of your life, and you had like episodic friendships, you know, like you were friends with a person for 3 months and then this person moved away, or you broke up with them, or there may have been frequent arguments, yeah? Frequent arguments, frequent issues, interruptions, maybe competitiveness. A connection seemed in some way at the beginning, but then you realized that it was just an illusion, that you were low-key deluded about what this person wanted from you, yeah? So I definitely feel like at the moment you may have a group of friends that is very mixed up. You have a friend that you know for 7 days, a friend that you've known since childhood, a friend that comes in and out of your life, a friend that could have moved on the other side of the globe, but you're still somehow weirdly keeping in touch. So I definitely feel that there have been changes that kind of made you look closely at the stories you were telling yourself about your friends. I see that you're a very loving person and that you easily make friends, so that's the good part. And I don't know why there is this random brightness effulgence that the camera is doing in your reading, but I guess that you're a very luminous person, and this is just part of that energy that I'm tapping into. You could be working to get a degree, or you are already working as a professional in a field that requires you to coach people, to talk to them, to listen to them, to understand them. You could be working as a counselor, as some sort of career coach, as a therapist, as a psychiatrist, as a person that in some way works with people to enhance their well-being, to help them understand themselves, to get to know their personality. You are an individual that at the moment you could feel closer to your romantic counterparts than to your actual friends. Maybe you're in a connection, and this loving connection, this romantic connection, is giving you all of the emotional stability and the emotional nourishment that you need. So it's not so bad that you occasionally have arguments with your friends, or you don't see eye to eye, or that they pull a 360 on you and disappear, they ghost you, or they move to the other side of the world for you. No, not for you, but away from you. I think that lately you've been spending more time focusing on your hobbies. You've been very focused on yourself, and this is a good thing. It's okay for you to be a bit more selfish, to focus on improving your skills rather than spending too much time with your friends. But I do feel that occasionally you would want to go out with a friend to be able to have fun and relax and, you know, drink a cup and just enjoy the moments in life, your celebrations. And it feels a little bit sad because on some level I feel that you can't do this at the moment. I feel like your romantic connection is occupying so much of your time. Your hobbies, your work, your skills, improving your skills is also taking up a lot of your energy, and it's really difficult for you to find space to focus on your friends. Sadly, we got interrupted by loud noises. It could be that friendships are putting a lot of stress on you at the moment. It could be that you find being around people alarming, or there is just this energy of tension when you go out with friends. And you kind of miss the good old days. You miss the time when you were just able to throw your hair back and have fun and enjoy being around your friends, because at the moment it just feels like it's you against the world, or it's you and your partner against the world, and time is ticking and you're very focused on maybe building a family, or you're very focused on serious things and you don't really have the space in your life for friendships anymore. You're also kind of focused too much on the negativity. You're focused on the fact that your friendships could have led to some dramatic blow-ups between the two of you. Like for example, you may have had friends that were argumentative, or you argued with your friends for political, religious, gender-based issues, and you're kind of wondering, what can I do right now to get over this energy? There is still some negative energy that you hold on to, and it would be good to just let it go. I'm here to let you know that if people left your life, they were actually doing you a favor, because the relationships that you were caught up in were not relationships that were healthy for you. So where you are in your life at the moment is so much better than when you were in the past in a more popular position and you had a lot of friends next to you. So the Seven of Cups bubble has been burst, and now you are able to have a connection with somebody from a real point of view. It could be that in the past, the transit of the planet Neptune, previously in the sign of Pisces, was going through your fifth house, the house of friends and hobbies and short-term romances, or the ninth house, again, the house of friends and higher purpose, a connection with the divine, international connections, and you weren't able to see your friends clearly. You idealized them. I also feel like some of you fell in love with your friends. There may have been some romantic entanglements that led to some really yucky endings. Like you had a sort of like random shouting match with your friends, yeah? So I definitely feel that it was important for you to learn about the necessity of boundaries, yeah? So if you had bad breakups with your friends, and your friends could have also turned easily into your lovers, this is a learning opportunity for you to stop transforming friendships into romantic potentialities, because they're only gonna end up hurting you and you're gonna lose your friend as well. So I think that you will continue to make friends by focusing on your skills. Your relationships, the ones you're gonna make with your friends, are gonna be a bit more difficult to attain. We see the mountain in the background, but they will be more solid, more real. So it may take longer for you to get to know a person, to truly feel like you can open up to a person, but that friend that you are creating right now with your wisdom and with all the life experience you have acquired will be a solid friend. Yeah, this will be a person that will not disappear on you or will try to cross the boundary into a romantic connection with you. No, this will be a friend, a true friend. Yeah. So I would say continue to focus on your romantic life, continue to focus on your abilities, work, and professional path, and please let go of any illusions, any idealizations that you have been having with people that you've known a lifetime. Nobody is giving awards for you maintaining friendships with people across your life. It's only you that keep yourself to a ridiculous high standard. Because maybe you think I'm a bad person if I don't have friends with me from childhood. That means I suck at relationships. No, it doesn't mean at all that. It just means you sometimes outgrow people. And it's a natural part of life, psychologically speaking, in the maturation of a person's personality and development, to let go of certain people that have been with you throughout your life. So now it's important for you to focus on your romantic life, focus on your professional path, and really put effort in getting to know a person. And I feel like most of your friends are going to come to you from your hobbies, from your work. And spend time, be patient with these people. You may not necessarily feel a great vibe with them from the beginning, like you used to do with your friends, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to become lifelong allies and supporters, okay? So you will be able to make more friendships. These will be better friendships than the ones in the past. They will require a bit more work, but it will be more how should I say, rewarding, that's the word. It will be more rewarding to have these people in your life than it was in the past when you had these kind of messy, kind of fun, kind of sexy and exciting friendships, but they were not at all good for you, to be honest, yeah? And if they led to some nasty breakups, good, let them like that. Allow time to wash away the negativity and to leave you only with the good memories. Okay, group 2, this is the reading that I had for you. Thank you kindly for listening. Take wonderful care of your beautiful heart, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hey, group 3. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to a pick-a-card reading on which we are going to look at your friendships. Let's figure out what is going on there. So this is for those of you that were drawn to the Ten of Cups. And as I said in the introduction, maybe you have some friends that have recently become parents. Maybe you have recently become a parent yourself. And a lot of your friends could also have started their families. And maybe you're wondering, what's happening to me? Why am I not in that group? So a variety of different options, because this is a general reading. So take it as it applies to you. Let's see what the cards have to say. Ooh, self-sabotage. Okay. We also have this image, and on the back, the lustful. I embrace my individuality and sexuality as sacred gifts. Okay. Let's see. We have here the moon, misinterpretation. Then we have here the Five of Cups, grief. And we also have the Nine of Wands, fear. And this is the musical instruments card. Yeah. Okay, the first thing that came up is with the self-sabotage card and with the lustful energy. You could really be prioritizing your sexual and romantic connections over and above the idea of having a family. And then you wonder why you're left out in the cold while other people have already started their families. It's like you really live for the thrill, for the excitement of a romantic connection. But this is self-sabotaging your capacity to really settle down and have a family. Instead of making the choice, I'm going to choose a good person and I'm going to start a family with them because this is what I want, you keep thinking, oh yeah, family is something I want one day, but then you make choices that are about maybe some fast hookups, or maybe prioritizing being in a connection with somebody who's hot or who looks good but may treat you poorly. You may not even be aware of these dynamics. This could be something that happens unconsciously, Like consciously you think, I'm a very proper person, I want solid traditional things, but actually you end up doing exactly the opposite. Yeah, you end up answering to people who slide in your DMs, going out with them, sleeping with them, and then they leave you, and then you wonder, why am I not getting married? So I think it's important for you to start keeping a diary and analyzing what you think and the actions that you take, so that you can become a little bit more aware of this shadow aspect that is taking place in your life. Your friends, on the other hand, may have tried to tell you this, but I think you frequently argue with them. Yeah. We have here misinterpretation, and we have grief and fear. So your friendships seem to be very difficult for you at the moment. Your friendships are not places from which you can draw a lot of strength from. It seems like you just put up with them because a lot of time has passed and you feel like, yeah, I should hold on to the people in my life, but you're feeling very sad, you're feeling very misunderstood, and there's a lot of anxiety that you perceive after you finish talking to your friends. It's almost like you're in some sort of unspoken competition with them. With the musical instruments here, it's kind of an invitation from the universe to okay, how do I put this into words? So basically this is about letting go of controlling your friendships, letting go of thinking that you know best. Like a musician, try to get into the energy of open-mindedness, open-heartedness. See what happens. Start playing your instrument and see where it takes you. You may create a beautiful song, but in order to create, you need to allow yourself to be surprised. You need to go with the flow, and you need to just ride impressions. It's like, this feels good. What happens if I do this? You have to be a bit more experimental. I feel like your friendships are really helping you understand your darkness, your shadow self, your unconscious. I feel like your friends are actually quite good for you, but you perceive them as being negative because you are trying to run away from the shadow that lies inside of you. So you project onto your friends contents that you don't want to admit about yourself. It's kind of like, no, I don't have a problem with self-sabotaging my love life. It's my friends who just are too obtuse and they don't understand because they're too traditional, and they just constantly like criticize my free thinking, free loving life, But in reality, you are not riding the wave of your freedom. You are just keeping yourself locked in a prison of your own making. Because indeed, if you want a family, if you want to settle down, you have to want to create this safety by choosing what is good for you rather than what is exciting but short-lived. Yeah. I had a friend who, she was very wild, she was tattooed and had lots of piercings, and she was dating a lot of men, and she occasionally had sex with them as well. But she kept saying, oh, I want to get married. My biggest dream in my life is to get married and to settle down and to have like a big strong man take good care of me. And I was looking at her, and with a lot of compassion I told her, yeah, but my love, you don't give off the impression of a woman that wants to settle down. You don't give off the impression of a woman that is safe to approach. Because even in the way she styled herself, she had spikes, she had these really big, large boots, combat boots, and it's a cool style. I'm not judging, it's a cool style. I love the way she dressed. That's why she was my friend. I loved so many things about her. But I just noticed that what she wanted was very different from how she presented herself. What she was doing in her life, like going on Tinder and hooking up with a different guy each week, was not at all the kind of behavior that, let's say, a prospective spouse would expect from her, She wasn't really settling down and finding safety in herself and kind of like taking her time with men and figuring out, would you be a good provider? Would you be a good father to my children? Do we have a way to blend our lives together? It was more about excitement for her. It was about short-term gratification. And then she would come and cry into my arms that she wanted to be married. And I was just kindly telling her, like, maybe it would be good to kind of change the way you dress, maybe change a little bit the way you take action towards men, like try to be a bit more patient rather than jump into bed with them. It's not in any way me criticizing her lifestyle, because I really had no problem with the way she lived her life, but it was just sad to see her wanting something and it not being able to happen because her behavior, her style, her choices, her actions were going exactly against that very thing that she wanted. Yeah? So I'm choosing to give you this personal example from my friendships because I think it's the same kind of mechanism that is happening here. And maybe for some of you it may be difficult to hear this. Maybe you're gonna click away and comment rudely down below that I don't know how to read the cards and that's not at all my energy, that's the energy of another person. But take some time to integrate this message, because sometimes coming in contact with the shadow is very painful. Yeah, we bite our lips and we scrunch our fists and we're like, no, I'm not this kind of person. But look, the cards are not lying. Yeah, you see what I see: misinterpretation, grief, self-sabotage, fear. Yeah, and I definitely feel that you should listen to your friends. I know it may not feel comfortable. I know you may disagree with a lot of the things that they say, but I am not getting the feeling that your friends are bad or they want what's bad for you because they're competitive or they're envious. And be careful about thinking about people in this way, because usually, again, this is a sign of narcissism. If you keep thinking that everybody's constantly in competition and envious of you, check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? Because there is some very deep unconscious energy at play in your life with the moon. Some things that you're not able to see with your conscious mind during daylight. Yeah, you're at the mercy of some really powerful unconscious forces. Maybe you have Pluto in the first house or Pluto in the seventh house. It's very deep energy that needs to be analyzed, you need to sit with this energy and figure out, where does this negativity come from? What am I doing that is self-sabotaging my connections? Some of you could have a hidden addiction. Some of you could drink, or you could take all sorts of, like, drugs, and it is interfering with your capacity to see other people clearly. Yeah. It is creating arguments with your friends. And others of you, I feel, you have not gotten over a really big loss in your life. Maybe you lost a lover. Maybe you lost a relative, a family friend, and it broke you inside. And ever since then, you're not able to get closer to any of your friends. And the situation could be made even more difficult by the fact that your friends have started their own families and you're naturally kind of drifting apart. And maybe you feel like, I can't share with my friends the sadness, the grief, the fear that exists in my heart when they look so goddamn happy all the time, So it would be good to not try to transform your friends into therapists and to seek professional support. I'm doing it as well, and it's doing wonders for my capacity to not only process my grief, but also being able to be productive and working and showing up for myself each day. So I highly recommend therapy. It is wonderful in terms of helping you stay balanced and healthy. So draw the boundary between, I'm doing this work with a therapist, with a counselor, with a trained professional, but I'm also maintaining a certain openness to my friends to let them know where I'm at. Yes, indeed, I may be struggling with things and they could be looking very happy on paper, but that doesn't mean that we can't find common ground to coexist. Adapt to the flexible rhythm of life and how relationships come and go, they move and shake and transform. This is what you need to do at the moment. And this is also an invitation to really check your desires and check what you want. Because lust here doesn't only talk about sexiness, Lust is also about the things that you desire. Are the things that you desire good for you? Check where your desires come from. Do you want a family because you generally feel like you're a family person? Or is it because you just feel the peer pressure? You feel like you want to fit into your group of friends by doing the same things that they're doing. But maybe you are not this kind of a person. Yeah, maybe you need to fit into a different group. And it's time for you to bring this desire up to the surface and analyze it. Yeah. Wow, it felt like a mini therapy session. Thank you for listening, Group 3. I really hope you took this in your stride with kindness and compassion. It was in no way meant to kind of like give you criticism or attack you. I just see that there are some really difficult feelings, some deep patterns here that need analyzing. They need some deeper diving, you know, so that you can improve your connection, so that you feel like you fit in, so that you dispel the fear and the sadness, and you feel like you are understood and like you belong, ultimately. That is my hope and my intention for you. So please take good care of your beautiful heart, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.